Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to share with you a video all about virtual teaching. If you don't know me, my name is Jordan Bergquist and I am a virtual second grade teacher. And I get asked questions about virtual teaching all the time because it's just something that people don't know that much about. So today I have compiled some of the top questions that I get from people. I'm going to share those with you and answer them, so stick around if you're interested. All right, so the first question that I get a lot, usually from fellow teachers, is what is the salary like? What's the comparison from in a brick and mortar school, and what are the benefits like? So for me, this is my fifth year teaching. I started teaching virtual during my fourth year of teaching. So I had 3 years in a brick and mortar school, and the salary when I changed over happened to be exactly the same. I was going to make the exact same I did as my third year of teaching in my fourth year. And now that I'm a fifth year teacher, I've kind of gone up on the pay scale a little bit. The school that I work for, you move up the pay scale every single year by $1,000. So that's something that doesn't always happen at brick and mortar schools. And for some, you could get more depending on observations and different things like that, or level of experience. But I do have a master's degree in elementary education, so that already kind of boosted me a little bit on the pay scale. So if you don't have a master's degree, it could be a pay cut switching from brick and mortar to virtual. But another factor is benefits. So my benefits are pretty great with the company that I work for. They're actually cheaper for me and my daughter as a dependent than when I was just paying for myself. So that was huge for me as well. That's a big factor. The money that's being pulled out each month for healthcare, dental, vision, all of those types of things is actually less than I was just paying for myself. So huge benefit. The next question that I get all the time is, what are your hours like? How much do you work? And also, what's your school calendar like? Because obviously being a teacher, one of the huge benefits is having summers off and having breaks like fall break, spring break, Christmas break, all of those things. So my hours during the day, just teaching hours, I work 8 to 4, but I'm only teaching with students from 9 to 11:30 and then noon to 2. So from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., it's kind of like planning period, talking with fellow teachers, answering emails from parents, things like that. And then usually the afternoon is when we do more of those types of things, or meetings are scheduled, like IEP meetings, annual case conferences, group meetings amongst our team, or staff meetings, those types of things. And typically I only have about one meeting a week, usually an hour, where we get together with our grade level and one of our administrators. So that's awesome. Another great thing about virtual schools with things like meetings is they're usually scheduled for a certain amount of time, and that's when they start and that's when they end. There's no going over. There's none of those staff meetings that take place in the afternoon and you're looking at your watch thinking, oh my gosh, I need to go pick up my kids, or anything like that, where you can't just leave the room. It's usually like a scheduled Zoom meeting. It starts at 2, it ends at 3, and they really do. So that is a huge benefit as well. Kind of what your time is going to look like during the day. Things are very scheduled out. Things start on time, they end on time, because that's just how we have to roll with things being virtual. Then for our calendar, our school calendar, it looks the same as most school calendars do. We start sometime in August, we end sometime in May, but for teachers, we work a little bit longer than I experienced in brick and mortar. So I did the math a little while ago to figure out like how many more days I'm actually working, and it seems like more when you look at the calendar compared to brick and mortar. But something that is awesome is that the company I work for, we get 10 days a year that can be sick, personal, anything, and we're encouraged to use those. They don't roll over, they don't add up. We have 10 days, use them. And the best part is when I am absent one day, I just send out a message to my students that says, hey, work on your regular lessons. I am out of the office today, we won't meet. There's no subs or anything like that. So a day off is truly a day off. So it's not like in brick and mortar where it was like, oh, I really need a day off, but it's really going to be extra work because I need to create all these sub plans. Or, oh, it's a Friday, so we're encouraging people to not take off Fridays. Or it's a Monday, don't take off a Monday, anything like that. It's kind of use the days whenever you want. So if you use all 10 days, I think it worked out to being like 2 more days that I work as a virtual teacher. And for me, the benefit of being home and having a little bit more flexibility is so worth that time. I don't actually have to go into a school building on professional development days or like grading days or anything like that. I'm kind of sitting back, relaxing, and just working on those things from home. So that is a huge benefit to me. Another question that I get all the time is, are you going to go back? Are you going to go back into brick and mortar schools? I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. But as of right now, I would say no. I like my job. I like being at home. This is my second year doing it, and I don't see going back to a brick and mortar school. There's too many benefits to me versus some of the things that I miss from brick and mortar schools, like the interaction with kiddos during things like recess or seeing what they're doing in some of like their allied arts classes. Like I loved those kind of things where you get to make those more personal connections, but I still have such good opportunities to connect with students that it doesn't really outweigh some of those other things that I love. Another one goes along with working with students is classroom management. People always say, how do you manage students online? And a lot of that has to do with our platform. So a lot of schools, when they were doing things virtually, they were using software or programs like Zoom that weren't so student friendly. They didn't have all these things that our platform uses. And the way that I do things, you have so many more options. Like you can mute students, or you can allow them to use the chat. You can allow them to annotate on the screen. We have subscriptions as a school to different tools like ClassKick, Padlet, some of these things where I'm able to see their work while they're doing it, that are so much more connected than they would be in a brick and mortar school. So the classroom management is really kind of gone in the negative aspects, that I'm not constantly reminding a kiddo to sit down or listen or to not do something because I only meet with them for such a short amount of time. I really see their focus. It's so much different. They might meet with me for 30 minutes for math, and so we've got to get things done. We're watching a video, we're doing our review, we're moving on to solo work. So really, I'm not seeing those kind of behaviors where they're messing around or their parent is behind them and they're already correcting their behaviors that I don't even have to deal with. So classroom management is amazing. Another question I get all the time, especially from people who are interested in maybe becoming a virtual teacher, they're like, do I have to be really tech savvy? Maybe even people that aren't one-to-one at their current school, meaning like their students might not have devices. Maybe they don't even have a laptop. They might just have a desktop computer, and they're thinking, I don't know tech very well. Can I still be a virtual teacher? Yes. We have tons of training all the time to help get us prepared for things, but they send you everything that you need: laptop, monitor, like headsets, all of those kind of physical things. Those are taken care of for you, and they come set up. When I first started my job, they sent me like all my passwords, all my computer things are already set up for me. Everything is so simple because they want to help people and get people rolling. There's not a lot of tech things that I have to deal with besides creating my lessons, which are just PowerPoints. So really, I say, if you know PowerPoint and if you can navigate around Google Chrome, you've got it. You're good. You do not have to be super creative, tech savvy, know all these additional things. know about making videos or anything like that, because we do record our lessons, so there's videos. Everything about our platform just makes it so simple. You just click a button that says show recording, it's all done for you. So there's no big tech things that you really need to learn. It all just comes with time, and it's not a big deal. The next question I get a lot is, don't you have to have like a nice office space or something like that, so it all, like looks nice when students are online with you, because it's like they're in your home, right? They can see you. And the answer again, no, you don't need any of that stuff. As you can see, I do not have a separate office space. I am set up in a bedroom. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and the bedrooms are both taken. There's no office space. I can't be working out in the living room if my daughter's playing or anything like that. So here I am chilling at the desk in our bedroom. You use what works, and you'll find that your students oftentimes, they're not sitting at a specific desk. Maybe one day they're sitting at the kitchen table, another day they're sitting on the couch next to their parent or learning coach or whoever. So that's another awesome thing. You can learn from anywhere, you can teach from anywhere. So that is excellent, one of my favorite things. And then the last thing, a question that I get all the time is just, what's it like looking at a screen all day? What's it like sitting at a desk all day? Because for a lot of teachers, that's really different. You're used to maybe looking at screens here and there, helping kiddos on iPads or computers, looking at your computer maybe at the morning or the end of the day, like grading things. But for my job, it's all online, it's all virtual, 8 to 4. I'm looking at screens. And at first, that was really tough. I quickly last year made an eye doctor appointment and told him, hey, my job is all virtual. And he's like, we gotcha. We'll figure this out. We'll get you the lenses that you need. Every day when I'm teaching, I wear my glasses. They've got blue light. They've got all kinds of things that he hooked me up with. So if I'm wearing these, no problem, no headaches, nothing, no eye strain. Feeling great. So that's one thing I would say, hey, if you're gonna do this, check with your optometrist on what you might need for some glasses. And then also people ask about just like sitting at a desk. How do you deal with that? Especially my elementary teacher friends, they're up and moving all day long. So it is a big change. But I feel like I actually have like better mobility than I used to and all these things, because I can get up and walk around when I need to, and I can also sit when I need to. That was a huge thing for me at school. I tend to get lightheaded and things like that. If I'm walking around all day or I'm outside at recess and it's 90 degrees, I wouldn't feel very good. And now I can kind of control that. And also I've noticed, this kind of goes along with it, I have tons of energy to work out when I want to. So I'm using energy where I want to use it now. And for me, that's just like a huge piece of freedom. So those are my top questions that I get asked all the time. But if you have a question for me, or you want to hear more about what I do, leave me a comment, send me a message, just let me know. Say, hey, what do you feel about this? Or, I'm thinking about becoming a virtual teacher. What would you suggest, looking into? Or any question that you have, let me know. I'd be happy to answer. For me, going to virtual teaching has been awesome, a great experience. So I'm happy to share anything that I've learned so far. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back for another video. Bye-bye.